in the Radagansbury, lying full of war in the, along for war and had, hold on one second. Along forewarn, and you have, along forewarn, you have a red Ashbury and all of the, along forewarn, and you have a red Ashbury along all of the, you have forlorn, and you have forewarn, and all of the Radabashbury along the subcoastal trade. And you have forwarn, and you have forewar along all of the Radabashbury coastal supply chain trade routes. And you have forewall along all of the Radabashbury coastal trade line, coastal coastal supply chain trade routes. And you have forewall and you have forewall along all of the Radabashbury and you have forewall along all of the Radabashbury coastal supply line trade routes. And you have forewall along all of the Radabashbury coastal trade line. And you have forewall along all of the Radabashbury coastal supply chain trade routes. Coastal supply chain trade routes. And you have forewall along all of the Radabashbury coastal supply chain trade routes. And you have forewall along all of the Radabashbury. And you have forewall along all of the Radabashbury coastal supply chain trade routes. And you have forewall along all of the and you have forewall along all of the and you have forewall capital gains along all of the Radabashbury coastal trade line supply chain trade routes. And you have forewall along and you have forewall capital gains along each one of the Radabashbury supply chain trade routes. Hold on one second. A spirit has just entered my domain. A spirit has just entered my barber shop. You're in a barber shop in the South Bronx, in New York City on Earth. You're in a barber shop in the... Yeah, I guess technically now since I'm operating... technically since I'm doing a lot of my spiritual conduit research operations out of this barber shop, this is now technically the spiritual way station for your ilk of supernatural phantasm. For your ilk of shade. This is now the spiritual way station for shade of your ilk. You want an Tenormire for Forden. You want an Tenormire and Lady Antebellum Cerebellum, the Sentative Titikin along 4 Norse. Okay. Angered my father, have you? Been there, done that. Okay. See you around, Candlejack. Haha, got him. Anyway, as I was saying, if you have staunch Tenormire contact all of the debutantes along